Portimao.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. We are live, Zenith Online Racing Season 7. It's Tier 1, Round 14. We're in Portugal at Portimao for the Portugal Grand Prix. I'm Arbega, joined once again by GP Colin. How are we doing tonight?
Doing great, Bigga. Excuse me. Doing great, Bigga. Really looking forward to this race. This is a new track. I believe this is the first race that a competitive race we've had here, right? It was pushed off for Season 2. I don't think we had.
I think we did race here in the last season.
Did we?
I'm pretty sure. I think so. I don't remember, though. It's a track I don't really know, so it's hard to really say. I don't have engine sound. You have that?
Let's see. I do hear it in the background.
I do not.
And
okay, we're already in troubleshooting mode. Oh, I do have it now. Okay. There we go. Alright, so Fuzz is invalidated. It's an outlap, though, so it doesn't really matter. Unless he's somehow invalidated the next lap, too. Phones is here, so there's more cars than I was expecting.
This is great. Great turnout.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. 16 cars, like, you know, it's been pretty average lately. Like, you know, early in the season, we had a couple times we were hitting 18, 19, 20, but it's hard to maintain that consistency. We got Jack Pretty here. I don't think we've ever seen him out on track, so this is a debut from what I can recall. I don't remember reading this name. So Jack Pretty.
Nope, he was just introduced today to the Zor family.
Excellent stuff. He's got a pretty nice looking helmet. We got to give him the helmet shout out for his debut. Helmet inspection is a must with our Biga on comms. When you make your debut, we always got to check out your fashion sense, your style. What are you showing us?
See if you have any.
Yeah. What do you got? Like, how tasteful is your helmet? But it's hard to see it at the moment. I'm gonna wait for a broadcast view to get us a better angle, but it looks like it's black and gold, so I enjoy that. Maybe a little bit of blue on there. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Good helmet. Arbeга approved. Welcome to ZOR, baby.
Stop.
Fuzz.
Stream.
Yeah, Fuzz out on a lap right now. Fuzz rocking a pretty cool looking helmet as well. What a helmet style in this league. Kind of the only way you can express yourself in the online league. Fuzz at the 17.5. No idea what the good time is here. We'll find out.
Well, right now, 17.5 is a really good time.
So we've got, by far the best one we've seen. RC, well, Scavney tucks in behind Fuzz, so that's pretty good. Scavney is usually pretty quick. That's a pretty good benchmark there, Scavney and Fuzz. RC, I'm on board with him right now. He's making his way through Sector 2. RC, at times has looked pretty quick. It's been overall a bit of a disappointing season. He's been tangled up in a lot of incidents. I know it's terribly late where he races, so what would it be there? Midnight, 1 a.m.?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's got to be tough.
Not far from yeah. Plus, I believe he has a very young family started or something. I can't say for sure, but that's what I've been told.
Yeah. So they'll be waking you up at the crack of dawn.
Yeah, and you've already been sleepless for a day. I can't imagine.
Puff, is he pushing? Yeah, it looks like he is. Seemed a little slow when I first got on board, but maybe it was just the exit. There's a hairpin he was coming out of, I think.
Jack Pretty goes to P2.
Okay. I'd imagine they figured out how quick he was and was like, all right, he belongs in Tier 1, put him in there.
Yeah, I believe I believe though he's a reserve.
Yeah, full-time reserve, I think, because he's
Full-time,
allowed to
okay.
qualify.
Yep.
Whereas Asylum filling in tonight and someone else, Slasher as well, popping into reserve roles tonight. Those guys are not allowed to put a lap on the board because they do have a full-time seat in another tier. So, Tier 1 guy, Jack Pretty, looking for a seat in Tier 1, so he gets to compete and race while he waits for a full-time drive. It's a good way to integrate drivers, I think. It's tried and true, works. We've been doing it for years, and it just works and allows people to come in and try the league out before they commit for a full seat, you know?
Mm-hmm. Worth noting, we don't have the championship leader tonight.
No.
Nor the second place driver. So no Packer and no Goofy.
I'm going to say Goofy has lost interest or can't make... something's going on because this is the third race straight, and he's not even checking in or anything. So, in my opinion, something's gone wrong, and he's just decided he's on his, I don't know.
Well, I mean, if he's...
Well, he's not checking in, and I seriously doubt he's watching the stream, but if he is, just be honest. Just say, you know what, I lost interest. I'm not going to come.
Wait, but he did check out.
Did he?
He did check that. I believe that he checked that he was not going to be here. Him and Packer.
Bushy Baboon checked out.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I think Goofy Gibbon, who's the one who was in the title hunt, he hasn't been checking in, from what I can recall.
Yeah.
So, it just kind of looks like...
That's too bad.
And I think Packer's probably sitting there going, I can probably take a race off if I have something to do.
Yeah.
Especially if he sees...
this is an opportunity for everybody else that's behind them. A win is a win. A podium is a podium. I don't care who's out there. If you're in T1 and you have that chance, and you actually get up on the podium, I'd be psyched.
Well, it's a great opportunity because really Rex, I would say, is the only, sort of guaranteed podium guy we see right there. That's always in one, two, or three almost every week. He's always up there fighting for it with Packer and Gibbon when he is here. So. Fusions and Maverick, though, they're always in the hunt for podium, so I would say one of those guys would be a lock for a podium tonight. Obviously, Jack Pretty looking pretty... that's what I've said. I wonder if he's done that on purpose. Jack Pretty quick.
Well, Pup this is an opportunity for Pup as well. He's been pretty strong in the last 3 or 4 races, so...
Yeah.
Having those two guys out really presents an opportunity for him, as well as everybody else. But I mean, he's been knocking on the door all season, it seems.
Yeah. Jumping on board with T-Money here. Don't think he's on a run. Buzz on a lap. Does look like Buzz is pushing. Let's stay with Buzz.
Oh, and T-Money kind of spun around. Turn, I don't know what turn that is.
Buzz,
no damage, but
half a tenth slower on sector 2. So see how he does here in sector 3, making his way through that long sweeping final turn. Doesn't improve, so that's a bit disappointing.
It sounds like he's going around again.
Oh, Scabney just had a big moment. I did see Scabney up 3/10. That would put him up behind Maverick. Scabney podium tonight? That would be very likely.
Very consistent driver for sure.
Yeah, he's always in the hunt for podium, so I think tonight with a few quicker drivers not there. So he had a bad last sector, though he didn't improve his time.
I think T-Money had a throwaway lap. Oh, when he invalidated. God, I should just not say anything.
Yeah. RC, I think, is going to get an 18 flat here. Maybe jump ahead of Adri. Does 18 flat. Yeah, look at that.
Wow, great call.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at that sometimes.
What are you drinking?
Just my first glass of wine for the evening. I'll get through a couple tonight. Gotta do something. I mean, it's a decent turnout, honestly. And there's 17 cars, actually. I guess Jinnit showed up late. I can't qualify tonight. Serving a qualifying ban. And Seye as well. Both accumulated enough penalty points that they got to sit out qualifying. Jinnit actually won away from a race ban. So, Jinnit needs to play nice tonight. He doesn't want to get a race ban.
Wow.
I think a lot... Isn't there a stage of the season where a couple points disappear from the early races? I think it's like after race 14 or 15, maybe?
Boy, that's news to me, but if it...
I thought that was a thing we had. Where,
if it's factual, then...
Yeah, like, you know, points you accumulated 10 rounds ago, you can start to wipe off there. Because otherwise, like, you know, you could have a bad incident in week 1 because you just screwed up bad. And you could carry 5 penalty points with you all season, and it doesn't really leave you much room for, like, you know, kind of pushing that limit when you're racing someone wheel to wheel. You know, a lot of guys do it. We got a lot of guys that are clean, and
shit happens.
Yeah, it just happens. Like, you know, like, in that moment, like, if you feel like you're, you know, this guy might get the best of you, sometimes you just try to. You do something, I wouldn't say it's dirty, but you kind of like, you know, raise the question. People will look at it and go, is that okay? And that
basically
is the kind of thing you need to do sometimes. Yeah, well, definitely when it's desperate, I think it gets noticed. Like, desperate moves, they get caught, they get penalized. But there's, you know, we've seen some hard racing where, you know, someone leaves literally the minimum amount of space they would have to. And, you know, by rule, you can't really do anything. And I think that stuff, it improves the quality of the racing, though, because, you know, the whole idea is that the stewards will eventually start costing you portions of your weekend, whether it's qualifying or the whole race. Mm-hmm. It's meant to encourage just, you know, respecting the people you're racing with. You don't, you know, I get it. Everybody gets fired up. Everybody's got, you know, testosterone and energy raging, and you just get fired up sometimes. But at the same time, like, always remember, like, these, you know, most of these guys should be your friends. Like, that's how you're making a fun league to race in. Everybody's your friend. Like, you know, everybody gets along and can have, you know, a fair but firm discussion, and also just joke around with one another. That's the kind of thing you're looking for. And
absolutely. And as an aside to that, I mean, I keep saying this all the time. One of the great things about Beer League on Friday is it gives you that opportunity to, you know, just chit-chat with the guys that you don't get to talk to during league races or really anything, you know, no voice-to-voice. You might Discord chat or something like that. But I really love being able to talk with the guys on Beer League, because that really... like you said, we all want to be friends, and I think that with us being able to get together every once in a while on a Friday night, it really gives everybody an opportunity to get to know who the person is behind the name you see out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it creates a better sense of community. Jack Pretty just started a hot lap, so new driver. He's got a pretty respectable time. You know, he doesn't need much to jump up. He's gone really wide here. So, yeah, invalidates that run. He's better off just back off and build up for a final run. Scavney on a run here as well. Let's check in with him. Apparently we got a wet race.
Oh, no.
Well, strap in, GP. It's going to be a long one.
I got my water, and then some.
Well, look at the type of track it is, and with it being wet, it's going to be a hell of a lot slower.
Yeah, and I don't know how much practice guys have been putting in on this lap. Certainly they haven't been putting seasons worth of practice into it.
Yeah, everybody was like, oh, I haven't done this track. Oh, I'm going in, no practice, and it's like wet race. It's like, well, it's tier 1. You want to be the best? Like, you want to prove that you're the best? Like, here you go. The least familiar track for everybody here, and it's a wet race. So you don't have...
And I think that in that sense, patience is going to become very important.
Absolutely.
Because they can get away from you really quick at this track. There are several corners, for me personally anyways, that if you're not careful, you're going around and that can cost you a race. I could probably say that about any track, but at least the likelihood of you crashing into a wall here has been slightly reduced. So
yeah,
we may
true.
not see many DNFs from people, crashing out.
Oh, but I bet you a few people are going to dive in right like this, just like right into the pit lane and call it a night. I guarantee it'll happen. So RC improves his time, but still P9. So obviously tires aren't going to matter either. Everybody can just kind of run whatever they feel like.
Yeah. Well, do you know if it's going to be an entire race, a wet race, or just...
I mean, with dynamic weather, you just don't know, really. Like, whatever the forecast is, it does change sometimes, and I think certain tracks, based on where they are programmed to change a little more frequently. Like, I've noticed in Montreal, like, the weather changes quick there when you play it in the game. And honestly, I've been there plenty of times, and it is like that. Like, it could be a really nice day, and then you're kind of just suddenly, clouds show up, and you're like, oh, are you kidding me? Like...
So I guess Miami would become a track like that too.
Yeah, probably. I mean, apparently that's a thing that happens there almost daily, so...
Right.
I would say so. Fusion's on a run, looking to improve his time. He's near the end of the lap. Let's get on board with him. 2 tenths up. I don't think he's getting anywhere near Rex. So Rex might just be able to... He might be able to put a nice, easy 25 points in his pocket tonight. In a wet race, because he is a pretty talented driver. I don't know if anybody else has the pace to get up there and chase him down.
So
a lot of guys running out of battery.
Adri will be crossing the line here. And an improvement.
That's a nice lap.
P4.
Yeah. Adri said he wasn't going to be here either, and then he showed up. I think some of these guys, they're like, I don't think so. I don't want to. And then when race time shows up, they're kind of like, all right, I kind of want to.
God damn, why would you not want to?
I mean, a lot of the guys, it's UK. I don't blame them for kind of being
right.
like, you know what, I'll just say I'm not going to go, and if I change my mind, no one's going to complain. Because it is damn
No, that
late
makes perfect sense.
So, Jack Pretty, honestly, very competitive, but he's just marginally off getting into that top 5. A couple tenths there, and he's in, so he's fitting in nicely pace-wise. Say's made off like a bandit here with this quali ban, because he's starting P13, and he's serving a qualifying penalty, so Jinnit showed up later, and he's picked up a P16 start, so he's not even dead last, which, I mean, if you showed up late, you're serving a ban, not that bad.
No.
And it's a wet race. Jinnit, I think, is going to be fine. I think Jinnit in the wet actually will probably... I think he'll actually be... Honestly, like, I think a lot of guys... Obviously, everybody prefers a dry race, but I think someone like Jinnit with pace, in a wet race, it kind of mixes everything up. He can do some damage from back there and kind of overcome having to start at the back.
Well, yeah, and I think starting at the back for him, given the way his season has gone, is probably the better place to start, because I think a lot of his... what's happened to him is he's getting tangled up in the first lap or so with other drivers, and he's had to pit, and he ends up going to the back of the line. So starting out back there, especially on a track like this that most guys probably have spent minimal time on, just watch, and the fact that it's going to be raining, I don't think it's a bad spot for him to start at all.
I don't think it's a bad spot for anybody. This is the kind of race where you're going to, like, a conservative, smart... Okay, Mr. Joshua, podium tonight. Yeah, honestly, because it's his style. Like these races always come to people like Joshua. Puff's very good at it as well, and he's P7, so that's a good spot for him. Puff also very good in the rain. Like me and him spent a lot of time driving on pad in the rain, and when he got on the wheel, like I've seen him in the wet on the wheel, and he's been pretty damn good at it. Like I found it was beneficial to me. Like driving on the pad, I always had a much easier time in the rain, like than everybody else. Like I was, I just felt like I was genuinely quick in the rain, whereas most of the other races I was kind of just making up ground, doing smart stuff. Ooh.
Oh, it's not quite raining
It's
yet.
not raining, so we're gonna start on dry tires. That's very interesting. I bet it's gonna start raining right at the start of the race, though. Oh man, that'll really spice it up, eh?
Oh my
I'm looking
God, during
forward to that.
formation lap, right?
Yeah, and everyone will be like, "Oh no, this is gonna be
So,
interesting."
another driver that, is quite consistent and avoids trouble for the most part would be Scavney. You mentioned him earlier.
Yeah,
He's somebody else that I would be watching to finish on the podium.
definitely. There's a good field though. Like we got a lot of good drivers out here tonight, and it should be fun for these guys. And the wet weather's gonna mix things up. And I mean, it definitely looks like it's going to rain, but from what I can see right now, I don't see rain. I thought I saw maybe a couple drops, but nothing that you would consider starting on wet tires. Like if you start on wet tires, you're going to, at least for the first 2 laps, be in much worse shape.
Oh yeah, you need the skies to open up.
Yeah, I don't think you just always have to be on the right tire at the right time. That's more important than not making pit stops. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. We're getting our little break here. Everybody's following the rules respectfully. Nice to see. I'm going to top up my glass.
That has
Actually, you know what? I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say that, that's been the storyline, really, for most of this season. We haven't had that, every race, somebody's starting early and guys complain they weren't able to set up their strategy. And, we haven't really had that this season. That's awesome. So great job, everybody. Yeah, we just lost Saye. Left the session. Where did he go? Saw it was raining and decided he didn't want to play anymore. Oh, and he's back. Let's see. I wonder if I have time to do the standings. Let everybody know where everybody stands. Let's see. So this, I don't know if this is updated, so if it isn't, then I read them off last week and it hasn't really changed. This is... Yeah, this is after the Netherlands. Oh, we're going to be starting at, geez, what was our last race? That was Bahrain, so, all right, well, I could do the standings. No, I can't. You guys have already heard it. Never mind. Nothing's changed since 2 weeks ago. All right, guys are out on slicks because it will not be slick with rain out there. So we got guys out on the softs. Let me pull up the little change it to tires.
All right, I'm back. Everybody's on dries, so that's very interesting. Rockstar Bagamone's gone on to mediums, which is interesting. If everybody thinks it's raining, how many guys put a wet setup in and it's dry? That's going to be interesting too.
Yeah, so only 2 drivers on the mediums. Everybody else is on the softs.
I just wanted to point out that Sam said he thinks that Goofy and Bushy said that they would both be out of town for a while.
Ah.
So that makes sense. I I'm glad if that's the case, because I'd love to see them come back.
Yeah.
If they were here, that's 19 cars tonight. Well, I guess the other Tier 2 guys wouldn't be here, but... Anyways, formation lap's pretty much done. It's a quick lap around here, so it's not going to be super long, because we are going to do some dry running, but once that rain starts, I think it's going to slow down a little bit here. Rex on pole, Fusion's in second. I would think starting in the mediums... I mean, who knows? If the softs go off after 4 laps and then the rain comes in lap 6, like Rockstar and Bag of Bones might be way better off. You never know.
Yeah, you need... The guys had to run many laps here. Really done some practice to figure out. I thought I saw something,
I'm not even kidding. I think I just saw it starting.
Yeah, the guys that did run some practice laps here for, full race, we'll say.
Yep, it's raining.
They have an idea of what their tires will and won't do, so... Oh my god, it's raining.
Oh, it's raining. This is great. Oh, this is
great
perfect.
for the viewers. And
sure
us.
Is. Alright, guys, we're about to go racing here. We're looking at a wet race starting... I think maybe we get 2 laps on the dries. But it is starting to rain. The track probably isn't that grippy anyways. You do see the raindrops dropping there near the DHL sign. Alright, are we having an issue here?
Uh-oh. We're in pause mode, it seems. Well, that would not be cool.
No, I do wonder if it was because Janet joined late. That does sometimes break the grid, doesn't it? That would be terrible because the weather is perfect right now.
Yeah.
For chaos.
That would be.
Unbelievable stuff. Is it because of Janet joining late? It does happen like that sometimes, doesn't it? Come on.
Come on, come on, come on.
How do you program the rain like this now?
Yeah, you can't. Unfortunately. Come on.
Oh, we're going to get robbed here.
All right, a race ban for Janet. Let's just assume it was his fault.
Yeah. Penalty point. You're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's looking like we're going to have to redo the grid. Sadly.
Yeah, you're right. I see rain. I do see rain.
So what do they do? Just put it on light rain for the whole race? I think that would be fair. Or they just start on inters, yeah.
Because it's obvious.